What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday evening to you. That's your boy, Gregory Bloomfield, here on Motivation Moments, the Thursday night edition of Motivation Moments. I'm so glad you're able to tap in. This is episode number 53 of the Motivation Moments podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, good evening. If you're on Facebook, good evening. If you're on LinkedIn, good evening. And if you're on Instagram, good evening. Thank you so much to everyone tuning in. We got an amazing show today. But what I want to do first and foremost is tell you the importance of liking and subscribing and sharing. We are 2 subscribers away from 100 subscribers on YouTube and 25 away on Facebook for 200. So we're going to have a total of 300 subscribers on just those 2 platforms alone. I need your help. If you're on YouTube, just subscribe to the channel, please, and like it and share it. And if you're on Facebook, follow Motivation Moments with Gregory Bloomfield. And yeah, let's spread the news and let's make this channel as big as possible because we're giving you the best programming and amazing conversations. The website is up, y'all, so you can check out my website, GregoryLBloomfield.com. There you can learn more about me, see back episodes. We're still building up the website. And also, you have the opportunity, if you want to support this station, you can do so through the website. So if you choose to support with the gifts that you give, that helps to defray some of the costs. So I thank you so much for that. And for season 5, we have made an amazing partnership. One of the things I like to do is give back. And every season, what we're going to do is choose a 501c3 to support and partner with. And this season, we are going to be partnering with an organization called Serving with a Purpose, where I matter, where teaching and serving is purposeful. And you may have heard this organization if you're in the Texas area, because none other than our 2-time guest, Melissa Tony, you may have remembered her in October. She's the founder and CEO of the organization. And what do? They're a nonprofit Christian organization that was founded by Melissa in 2011 and she's a former educator who saw the needs of children up close, not just educationally, but also the lack of so many basic needs not being met. She was a teacher like so many more, with a closet in her classroom that was not just filled with education materials, but also with basic needs that kids need to survive because families were struggling to provide it. There are a lot of kids that are hungry, that need supplies, that need different things. And this is what this organization is their mission is to do. So if you want to learn more about the organization, it's called servingwithapurpose.org. And a portion of every gift that you give to the Motivation Moments podcast, a portion will go to support this organization. We're going to be doing that every season. We're going to pick a nonprofit and we're going to support them as well as supporting this broadcast. So learn more about Serving with a Purpose if you give, and you can also get surprise gifts from yours truly if you sow into this organization, whether it's $5, $10, $100, anything. Support. We have an amazing guest. I consider him a friend of mine and someone I actually used to work for and work with. His name is Gary Cunningham. We're talking about building a legacy. Now, Mr. Cunningham is a preeminent leader, passionately dedicated to economic and racial justice. And he currently serves as the senior advisor for the New Schools Institute in New York, and they deal with race, power, and political economy, contributing vital insights into equity and systemic reforms. His illustrious career includes roles as the founder and senior consultant of Cunningham, Inc. He was the president and CEO of Prosperity Now. That's the organization that I worked at, or I consulted with him, and a CEO of North Point Health and Wellness Center. He is a Harvard Kennedy School alum educated brother, y'all, with a master's in public administration and a bachelor's of arts in public policy from Metro State University. Mr. Cunningham's strategic vision and leadership continues to significantly impact economic and racial equity initiatives. So we're going to be talking about building your legacy. Particularly, he's passionate about BIPOC small businesses and community development. And I think this is an important conversation to have. So without further ado, I want to bring up my friend and someone that I learned a lot from, and somebody who I deeply, deeply respect, Mr. Gary Cunningham. You get clap track too, sir.
Thank you, Greg. I am so honored to be here. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate you as well, sir. Happy New Year to you. And a lot of things have been happening for you. So I'm very pleased to hear and very proud to hear of all your success.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And
No problem.
yeah, you seem to be doing well yourself. You wrote a book. You got this podcast going. I mean, these are things that you kind of talked about, but hadn't done. So you really are on the move.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. As I was saying in the back, I'm not just a bean counter. I'm also
You're a great bean counter, though.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to tell you, you are good at what you do, Gregory.
Thank you. I find that accounting and being a CPA is my job, but this is my passion. So, it's good to have both in your life. So, but let's talk about building a legacy. Let's start off with you. What are some of your goals for 2024? And in the beginning, like as we're now 25 days into the year, have you had some resistance in those goals? And if you have, how are you fighting back to keep those goals alive?
Well, my goals are always about how do I improve my health, how do I improve my mental state, and how do I take care of my family and ensure that they're strong and healthy as well. And so those are key goals. I want to keep giving and want to keep giving back to the community has helped me so much. So part of it is continuing to mentor others and continue to be a voice for those that have been left behind that don't fully participate in our community because they don't have assets, they don't have wealth as a part of our life here. So how do we build wealth for those that have been marginalized in our society? So those are my goals. And yeah, I always, this morning I, had to go to the gym because that's part of my goals. And you always have a little bit of resistance, get up and pull it all together. But what I do is I meditate and I have on my wall a reminder of what my goals are and what's core to me. Mm-hmm. And so that, that reminder keeps me going. That little voice that comes to you and says, hey, if you're going to get to the goal, you got to make some sacrifices to get there. And so I did get to the gym today. I worked out pretty hard and I got back home and I worked on a lot of other things that are part of my passion, my personal passion today. So it was a good day.
Thank you. Yeah. I can understand the struggle with the gym because that's my goal as well. Like I'm trying to be like, what I try to do is I try to walk at least 45 minutes a day, like either in the morning or in the afternoon after lunch. Because after a while, you can't just look at computer screens all day. That's why I'm wearing these now. But you got to get the body moving. And I find as well, I read this article that many successful people do two things before they start their day. Number one, they have moments of gratitude first thing in the morning. Call it prayer, call it meditation, call it whatever you want from a religious or a secular standpoint. And the second thing is they get that workout in. They got to do something for like at least 45 minutes, whether it's lifting weights, walking, or, yoga, whatever it is. So, yeah, I think that's really important to build a legacy of
Well,
health.
it's interesting you say that. I attended a workshop last summer that was called the Hoffman Institute. And the Hoffman Institute project is really about how do you love yourself, right?
Mm,
Self-love. Because so often we say we love other people and we say we love this and that, but really the love has to come from inside of you if you're
yeah.
going to love somebody else. And part of what they do is a gratitude and appreciation at night. So every night you're doing gratitude and appreciation about what did you appreciate about what you did today? What gratitude do you have? What people came in your life or things that happened? Or just gratitude about being alive or gratitude about being able to eat and have a meal. I mean, there's so many people in the world that just don't have what you have, what
Yeah.
I have. And so that gratitude really matters as part of my daily ritual
Yeah.
and that appreciation. And then when you get up in the morning, right, you also have to go through checking yourself out. Okay, how are you doing intellectually? How's
Yeah.
your body doing?
Right.
Right? I mean, how's your body doing? How, talk to your body. Your body's trying to tell you something, right? And how are you doing emotionally? Right? I mean, how do those emotions that you carry around with you, and they're all there to help you. All this is here. I heard you talk about God and Christianity. All of this is designed to help you. So many people think about our lives as something happening to me. And really, all of this, all of the trials and tribulations, all of the things that you're going through are really there to help you if you can see them in the right way. Some
Yeah.
people see problems, right? And I see opportunity,
Mm,
right? So it's a different kind of mindset that people actually have to get into in order to actually change their lives so that they love themselves. So I'll stop there, but this idea of loving yourself matters so much in your world.
absolutely. I couldn't
Hmm.
have said I couldn't have said it better. It's like you can't
Hmm.
can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself.
There you
Exactly.
go. There you
Exactly.
go. Hmm.
So we're talking with Mr. Gary Cunningham today. Like, share, and subscribe on whatever platform you're on. But I really want to focus on building a legacy. And with the time that we have, I know you're passionate about economic justice, racial justice, equity, and equality in BIPOC communities in terms of assets, as you just mentioned, and making sure that families that look like us have a right opportunities and a fair shake at obtaining wealth and having legacy. What would you say is the first step to building a legacy for a family, for an individual, and also your own legacy? Like, what were some of the
Hmm.
steps that you incorporated into
Hmm.
your own life?
Yeah, I mean, you had asked that of me earlier, and part of me says that first I have to recognize that I'm the hero of my own story. You are the hero of your own story.
Hmm.
So many of folks may know of Star Wars and the whole theory of the Force in Star Wars, the the Force that is all empowering, and that whole mythology was written by a guy in part by a guy named Joseph Campbell. And in Joseph Campbell's myth, what he talks about is heroship, right? The monomyth of being a hero. So we know all of the stories of a hero start in the same place. Something happens
Right,
to you,
right,
to the individual, and then they go out in the world. They're pushed out in many cases, and then they go out in the world and they have to take on the demon, the dragon, the whatever it is that's out there. Your goals, you have to take them on, and you can't get there from what you know in your little town or where you come from. But people come along, and people come out of the woodwork when you know what your mission is and you know where you're going, people come out of the woodwork to help you. And that's what happened to me. But I bet it's happened to you where people all of a sudden are helping you And you can call it Christian love, or you can call it whatever you want to call it, but it comes at you, and all of a sudden somebody's helping you, and you're getting to the next, whether it's a teacher, whomever, that helped you get to the next level so that you could take on the things that you're put here on earth to do. You're not here by accident. None of us are here by accident. This isn't a coincidence. You're put here, and there's somebody working through you to do what you do. And so for me, this idea that I am a hero really struck home, in that you're a hero. We're all heroes of our own story. So take control of your story and build your legacy. Start from that. You can't build something if you don't have dignity and self-respect and integrity for yourself. So if you think you're going to build something and you don't think highly of yourself, you got low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You think you're going to build something and you don't really know who's going to help you along the way or how you're going to get there. But if you have faith, you can move mountains. If you have faith. So the first place I would start in what I've done, and I'm just a regular person. I ain't built no big legacy. I ain't Martin Luther King or any of that, but I have dedicated my life to something. And I've dedicated my life to this idea of building a beloved community. Even though I see all of this horrible stuff that's going on in this planet, in our communities, I walk outside, sometimes I see men on the streets, etc. I see all the pain that this world has to offer. But I also know that there's a reason that I'm here, and a reason that I'm pushing forward and trying to make a difference for others. Right now, I'm working in a number of states with my colleagues on implementing a project called Baby Bonds.
Yes.
And Connecticut's implemented it, and Rhode Island just introduced it, and there's some work going on. DC has approved it, and that is making investments in young people so that they have enough assets when they get old enough so that they can buy a house, they can start a business, they can participate fully in our democracy and in our capitalist system. And so, this idea of, well, why are you doing what I'm doing? Just think of the thousands of young, poor children that actually would have $40,000 or $50,000 when they got 18 to invest in themselves. That's a legacy. Right.
Yeah.
And that will go on way beyond my lifetime. Right. And I can't claim all the credit. Nobody can claim all the credit for anything. Right. Because we're all in here helping each other. There's people working with me. I'm just another tool to be used to make a difference. My parents raised me, and my grandmother, and the extended family,
Right.
to use my skills and abilities to make a difference in the world for others. And so I've taken that from my childhood to this place, and I'm not perfect, or I ain't, et cetera, but I have stayed true to that course.
Yeah. It's really important that, thank you for saying that. It's really important to build your legacy, I think, to include your children, your grandchildren, teaching them the way, showing them. But that it comes back full circle to loving yourself, because you don't want to, you can implicitly create bad legacies if you're not healed and if you don't have knowledge. It's really, that's why I've, for myself personally, with my own children, I commit to being a lifelong student, and to also commit to admitting when I'm wrong. Sometimes we as adults don't say to our kids, hey, you know what? That was a dumb move your dad did. And I don't want you to make that move either, please. Right? Because of those choices I made, unfortunately, I made life a little bit harder. So I want to make life easier for you. So please impart this knowledge to your kids. However, sometimes they don't listen. But that's why we have grace, and that's why we have, I always believe you can have a second chance in life to get it right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not only second, third, fourth, fifth chance.
I
Uh,
think I'm I think I'm on my I think I'm on my 50th or 100th or 1,000th.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah. I mean, there's a parable about Jesus walking with his disciples, and one of his disciples says, "Well, Jesus, how do I get in heaven?" And Jesus says, 7 times 70.
yeah,
Right? That means you got to forgive. The amount of forgiveness that you have to have is 7 times 70. Think
70
about it.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, 70 times 7.
Now for those
So think about
that
that.
that does not mean that it caps at 490. It's a figurative. Some people think you on 487, brother. You got three more shots and you done.
You
No,
done. You ain't
that
getting
is
in.
that is
You
not
ain't
what
getting in.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
not
But
what
the point of that, though, the power of that is this idea of forgiving others,
mm,
right? As you forgive yourself, right?
that's the problem sometimes. People don't know how to forgive themselves. Hey,
Yeah.
the Gregory I was 6 years ago is not the same Gregory I am today. So you got to forgive the 2015 version of Gregory
Oh
because now
yeah.
it's
Oh
2024, right?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. Totally. And so this issue of forgiveness also brings in compassion,
That's right.
right? Because if you can be forgiving, you can also be compassionate,
That's
right?
right.
And so this idea that you can actually change the world with your compassion and your forgiveness. And when I was 20, I was a different human being than I am now, right? My kids are
Right.
46 and 43. Oh, I might have
Wow.
got her age wrong. She'd get mad at me.
Uh-oh.
But but and then I've got grandkids that are in college, right? So, I'm at a different place in my life where, I mean, I've lived a longer span, and it gives you some perspective, right? And it gives you some, I'm not trying to climb the corporate ladder or the ladder to success. I'm trying to climb the ladder to ensure that what I do every day is making a difference in people's lives. And that's how you build a legacy. The other piece of building a legacy is reaching back and helping those that ask for help. So I very rarely say no when a young person or anyone asks me to help for some help, right? Or to help and be a mentor,
Right.
or etc. And people say, well, you don't have time, and no, I have time because somebody did that for me. Somebody went out of their way for me when I needed help. So this building a legacy also has to do with your time and energy, and what are you putting it towards,
In
right?
other
Because
words, paying it forward is
yeah,
critical. Yeah.
absolutely. So that's what really matters. So you become more circumspect, you become more mellow, and hopefully, not to,
Yeah.
we all have tempers and all the emotional
Yeah.
stuff, but this healing, right, that we need to do, particularly folks that have been grown up poor, struggling, family issues, etc. You really have to have build a lot of compassion and a lot of healing from all of those things, those broken pieces, as they say,
Right.
right? Because we're just all broken glasses. We're very fragile, etc. But if we can actually heal from that, right? And it takes some time, but I'd say all these young people out here, you can heal too. You just have to spend the time and energy thinking about how you can use your energy, your strength, your abilities, your privilege, whatever it is, to actually put it in service to others, for others.
Yeah.
And then you will get back a bounty tenfold. Tenfold. I've had a bounty come back to me tenfold. And it's not about money. It's
Mm.
about people coming back to you and saying, you were tough on me, but you working with you made a difference for me. or people come to me and say, hey, thank you for spending that time, right? And we live in such a fragmented world right now where people are just selfishly into consumer this, consumer that. I'm gonna
Right.
buy this. I can get on Amazon and click the button and I'll get this. Come to my house, etc. And we need to move beyond that to what really matters, because all of it. I ain't never met anybody that got out of here alive, right? No, everybody's gonna pass away, right? And I used to do hospice work. And when I did hospice work, you go to folks that were in their last hours, right, or last days, or last weeks. And one of the things I found out is that you can live your life in a certain way, and you get to that last moment, and there's nobody there for you. Or you can live your life in a way that you treated people well and you treated people right, and the whole family is around you. I've seen it both ways. I've seen people uh, self-abusing themselves on drugs and other things. So anyway, Greg, I know we got to go. So
Yeah. No. I listen, we need to do another episode with me and you because everything that you're saying is incredible. It's wise and it's great. And we're enjoying this, man. If everyone is enjoying is watching, please put something in the chat and please like, share, and subscribe. But I do have one question that I want to ask you. And we had talked about this offline, and it's called I tried it with one of my previous guests, and I want to just do this bullet shot, which she was at. You have accomplished a lot. And in the spirit of full disclosure, everybody, I was a consultant. I won't say the name of the firm. I was a consultant for Gary in Washington, D.C., at one of the organizations that he worked for. I was his interim CFO for 6 months. So that's when we worked together and we became friends. It was really cool. It was my first engagement at the firm that I was working at. So that's how we know each other. He was the CFO, I was the CFO. So that was my bean counter days. I still am a bean counter, but anyway, you've accomplished so much on this planet. You've given back. I've seen your generosity. I've seen the way you work. I see your values. I respect you tremendously. Let's say all of your accomplishments are gone. Everything. There's no trace of you. All you have is a piece of paper and a pen. And you have the opportunity to give 3 pieces of advice that you want to share with the world. Very quickly, what are those 3 pieces of advice? What would you say? And we're going to write them down on the bottom of the screen. What are those 3 pieces of advice?
Well, that's a deep question. Uh, my first thing would be uh, a person of integrity.
Okay.
That's something that no one can take away from you. And it's something that actually people respect and love people for, because they will do the right thing rather than the expedient thing. So integrity is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is uh, always follow your own path. Other
Yes.
people will try to tell you to be on a particular path, and you can listen to them, but it's your inner voice that brings you. Always follow your own path, not somebody else's path, not what somebody else thinks you should do. And then lastly, I'd say the most important thing is realize that you are a human being having a spiritual experience. You are, I got that wrong. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. That's
Yes,
how it
that's
goes.
correct.
You're a spiritual being. And this idea of spirit, you have to nurture it. So nurture your spirit. And I said it earlier, and this is number 4, so I'll go on number 4.
The
Love
bonus.
your love yourself. Love yourself. Say something positive to yourself every day, in the morning, at night, in the middle. Praise God and love yourself.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Mhm.
Mr. Gary Cunningham, thank you so much for being a part of Motivation Moments. And like I said, if you're invited to this platform, you're now a part of the Motivation Moments family. We definitely want to bring you back in the near future with those nuggets of wisdom. And yeah, just we'll talk and we'll figure out a time where we can get you back on here. And yeah, this truly was a blessing. I hope you were all blessed. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. How can we reach you? If any of my guests, any of my
Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run over you, but thank you so much. It was fun. Thank
nah,
you.
cool. How can we reach you? How can we reach you?
Well, you can get a hold of me on LinkedIn, Gary L. Cunningham on LinkedIn, and if you send me a message, I will respond.
All right. So all our LinkedIn family that's watching, Gary is available to take your call or your email anyway. So thank you so much. And listen, to everyone on Motivation Moments, we'll be back on Sunday with another amazing conversation. And then next Thursday, this time, we're starting our brand new pilot, the Motivation Moments midweek multivitamin B, which is basically 30 minutes to motivate you, to encourage you, inspire you. Yeah, let's close out this week strong. And thank you so much for joining us today on the Motivation Moments podcast. Please like, share, subscribe. We want to get those 2 more subscribers on YouTube so we can get 100. And yes, God bless you all. And remember, be encouraged, be inspired, and be motivated. My name is Gregory Bloomfield. You just heard from Gary Cunningham. Have a blessed night. God bless you all.